their living arrangements have worked out for you on such short notice.
Oh yes, Father, they've been very accommodating. If I may say so, the convent is very inviting and has been designed very tastefully.
Oh, well, thank you. I've played with the curtains and replaced the carpet with newer colors occasionally, but no one seemed to notice.
Well, I notice. I notice quite a bit, actually.
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why we're so glad to have you. Can only be in so many places at once, and the sisters have some problems that, well, they need someone who can understand them like I can't. Type of big sister.
Well, I don't know about that, but I will certainly try. Father, the sisters, many of them are older, and in one case, much, much older.
Yes, you must be referring to Sister Eunice. She has been with us for many years.
Yes, well, I don't believe we've had the pleasure yet, but I'm not sure I've dealt with someone of her experience before.
That's just first day jitters. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Father, I just want you to know how honored I am for you to have me here, and that I will do anything that you or this convent requires of me.
I'm sure you will. Welcome to our convent, Mary. I hope you'll find everything you need within the church.
They may be few, but they sure have an appetite.
Well, don't expect a lot. The crowd is already bigger than what we're normally used to.
For our sake, I hope that isn't the case. People need to see we're making a difference, and I know we're capable of just that. You know, if you sear the meat like that, it loses much of its flavor. So, you must have had an eventful day. For me, I know that when things aren't going my way, I just try to find solace wherever I can.
I know, but I think Father John is close. Yes, you need to tell him.
There's always a home for you in the church, if you ever need it.
Hair!
Well then, we've been doing this for a good while now, and I just feel like we keep getting it all wrong. We need to be unified. We need to be on the same page, and if we're not, then I think we're missing the point of all this.
And how long have you been feeling this way?
At least the past month.
I think you're exaggerating a bit, don't you?
No, I don't think so. I think this is important. This needs to be addressed. We need to care for each other as much as we care for those
Yes, you've already stated this.
Well, I personally...
Excuse me. I have the floor. No. No, Sister Kathy, that simply can't be right. From what I've surmised, we are called to our own individual purposes. Naturally, a more inclusive approach may serve to lift up the group a small amount, but in reality, we're going to see a far greater downscaling in what each of us is able to accomplish in our own missions. Are you not able to see how that might hinder our progress?
As I was saying, we have all grown here together through fellowship. I can personally attest to an upliftedness from our little community we have here. I have found that it's much easier to sustain my productivity when I know I have the support of all of you. I side with Sister Kathy.
Well, you clearly all feel this way. I'll admit, you've all lived together longer than I have. So I guess there's no point in speaking any further about it. Although I'm not sure I've communicated myself with you ladies, I will leave you with this. We must always be vigilant. We must be vigilant in pursuing what we know is good and what we are called to do. You say that. You all think that when discussion turns to disorder, it's time to jump ship. What I'm calling for is an agreement among us to simply continue on as we have been. But for some of us, separately, as it's appropriate. Surely that can't do us any harm. Keep things kind. Eunice, did you hear that? Eunice. Eunice. Eunice.
Fighting?
Father, I can explain.
Well, you better explain, because before you, I can tell you there was no violence.
Father, please sit. Father, Dan. Now, I don't know what the sisters may have told you, but I can assure you it was an overtelling at best.
They told me you attacked her.
It's not as simple as that.
Well, as far as I can tell, it is.
She was undermining me.
By taking a little nap? Mary, she's been with us for a very long time. You should be better than this.
I tried to be. But Father, simply speaking, Sister Eunice has been an impediment to what the sisters and I, have been trying to accomplish.
And what has that been?
Unity, one-mindedness, to excel at what each of us does best.
Well, that's not how I've heard it.
And who told you otherwise?
I ordinarily like to avoid these issues, but enough of the sisters have brought it to my attention, so I felt the need to act.
Well, tell me who, and I can talk to them personally.
Just be a little more conscientious next time, and we'll leave it at that.
Father?
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Beautiful, isn't it? So peaceful, effortless, brings back happy memories. Did you know that in the year this was composed, Johann Sebastian Bach had just turned 31, which is about my age. What I would give to be half as, what's the word? Tenacious. Originally, it was written as a church song. Of course, now you hear it most commonly played at weddings. Tradition is something that shouldn't be trifled with. Of course, even to hear it now at weddings has become commonplace. Tradition. The thought I'm left with now is what will happen next, after tradition is gone. What will all of this look like? Do you ever wonder about that, Eunice?
Thank you. We might have some flooding in some of the lower rooms. Some parts of this building are fairly old. Need lots of upkeep.
I can look into it tomorrow.
That'll be good.
Father, I would like to discuss Sister Eunice.
That's enough, Mary. You can't keep inventing these stories for me to hear and expect me to always be there to mediate.
But Father, that isn't the case. I was actually going to say that I'm perhaps beginning to understand how you and the other sisters see Sister Eunice.
Oh, well, that's great news. Great to hear, Mary. I knew you'd come around.
Father, on the other hand, it is my humble opinion that Sister Eunice does not meet the standards of this convent. And moreover, we don't have the facilities to care for her.
All right. Just stop. You know, I thought you just needed some time to come around. But now I'm seeing you just like making things hard for everyone.
Father, you don't understand.
No, you're right, I don't. But I don't need to understand. You do. I'll see you in my office tomorrow morning, bright and early, and we'll discuss your behavior and where you see yourself in our convent. Sister Eunice's personal file? All the nuns have one, even you.
You misunderstand.
Mary, I'm going to ignore that you barged in here and waved a meaningless piece of paper in my face. And just say it's time for our meeting.
It's not meaningless. Look. Do you see it?
And what would you have me do?
She's clearly a health risk. She's a liability to us. You know this facility can't care for her. Place her in a nursing facility. Some place that can handle her like we can't.
The sisters adore her. Just what is it you can't stand about her? Huh?
I will let her know of your decision. The convent can be such a lovely place at times. I have personally grown to love the grounds, the architecture, the stained glass, and of course the sisters. And you too, Eunice. I just need you to know that. But this building deserves our respect, and I have worked very hard to ensure that I give it that. I've earned this. But I'm not sure I can say the same of you. I don't know why we're fighting, Eunice. It bothers me greatly to think that we aren't getting along as well as we could be. But the church can't withstand such bickering at the institutional level, and it certainly can't withstand it at the personal level either. It is for this reason that Father and I have decided to move you elsewhere, to a facility that can better care for you. I just thought I would be the one to tell you, so you don't hear it from other sources first. Now, Eunice, I'd rather not cause a scene. I think it would be best for both of us if you got up right now and walked out that door. No one need be the wiser. Eunice?